Hello, folks. I want to talk to you today about a 4-step cord cutting exercise. In these times when we're at home, we've got time, we're ruminating, we're meditating, we're thinking about the past, we're thinking about the future. And often at these kind of times, resentments show up, or the mind starts to ruminate on a particular person, or something that we didn't do in our life that we wished we had. Regrets may come up. So this 4-part or 4-step cord cutting exercise, some can see it as a letter or simply an inventory, a way, a means which you can clear out some of your resentments, some of the wreckage of your past, and ways perhaps you've betrayed yourself in the past. So the most important thing is that you do it, okay? If something is lingering or hanging around and you want to get rid of it, you want to purge it from your psyche, this is the best exercise. There's a more comprehensive one that we do. However, for this time and place, short, sweet, perfect. If you want to make this letter or this document as long as you want, go for it. Like you can write and write and write. We've got the time, so do it. This can be as long as 2 sentences, all right? So there's 4 steps to it. You can write 2 sentences for each. And there's some critical parts. So I'm just gonna delineate what each step is, and you're gonna get a download with this as well. Again, this is for people who wanna purge, who wanna release and let go of memories that are coming forward or beliefs that you want to get rid of. Perhaps there's a person that you've been holding in your mind, an incident, a situation, okay? So the first thing, I want you to imagine that person or the situation, a limiting belief, an attachment that you're still holding on to. And what is it? Ask yourself, what is it that's coming up? So the top of the page, it can be a letter to my dad or a letter to myself. You can say, Dear Angela, or Dear Dad. It's up to you how you start it. However, it's a communication between you and the spirit of that person or that belief system or whatever it is that you're attached to. It could be towards a system, like the apartheid system that you're angry at, or the racist system that you're angry at, or the patriarchy that you may have been holding resentment towards. So you can do this in terms of a system, an institution, a school, the police, or a person in your past. So, or for instance, a belief system. If you don't believe in yourself, for instance, or you don't feel yourself is worthy, what or who is triggering you? And the question is why? Okay? So step number 1, what happened? What's the story? Not who triggered you, but what's underneath what's going on. How has this person affected you? And be objective, all right? You're not going to read this to them, all right? You're not going to send this to them. But what's the story behind the belief that's coming up? Maybe your dad told you you were stupid all your life. Okay, so you're writing a letter to dad. And how has that belief, that limiting belief, affected you? Be very objective. It held me back from pursuing the medical career that I wanted. It held me back from making the friends that I really, really wanted. Well, how did it hold you back? How did you get affected? Maybe it didn't hold you back. Maybe it made you overachieve. Maybe you became an overachiever and you were striving too hard. That's step 1, all right? So what happened? What's the story? And first you're saying, Dear Dad, or Dear Mom, or Dear Police, Racist Institution. So the second step is, how did it make you emotionally feel? The incident, the belief system, the attachment. This is very critical. All right. So what was the incident? How did it make you feel? It made me feel less than. It made me feel like a little mouse. It made me feel insignificant. It made me, whatever it was. How did it make you feel emotionally? Step number 3, I want you to then have a conversation with the person that you had the person that you had a grievance with, or the limiting belief. You feel like your dad or your mom instilled a limiting belief within you. So I want you to have a conversation. I want you to sit across from them, call them up, put them in front of you, and then write out what it exactly is that you want to say to them. Something that you've never allowed yourself to say. And there are no repercussions as to what it is that you say to them. Again, it can be a father, a brother, a mother, a sibling, a teacher. It could be a limiting belief. So what you want to do is that you want to put yourself in front of you and ask yourself, right? Conversation, have a communication with yourself. Why did you let yourself down? Why did you betray yourself? Why did you limit yourself over this incident or that incident? So you have this conversation with them. And if you want, you can even do some non-dominant handwriting to get deeper, even still, into what else was going on in this conversation. Now, this 4th section is the clincher, but it may be the most difficult. And that's why this process, it can be 2 sentences long, or it can be pages long. This process can take 5 minutes, or it could take you 5 weeks or 5 months. This last section is about forgiveness, okay? And there's one sentence that needs to come in. That's the next stage, actually. I'm ahead of myself. Within this 4th section about forgiveness, it just needs to be a couple of sentences. I forgive you, old self, for not making me feel good enough. I forgive you, brother, father, for locking me in the closet. I forgive myself for whatever you feel you need to forgive yourself for. I forgive myself for placing limitations on myself. I forgive myself for betraying myself. All those years that I really, really wanted to be athletic, and I didn't. I betrayed myself, kept myself small, kept myself too loud, and I knew that I was too loud. I forgive myself. I forgive the police. I forgive the apartheid system. I forgive whatever it is that you forgive. And that may not be easy at this point in time. All right? So just easy does it slowly. You may get to this part of the letter or this part of the exercise and have to stop. But if you know what's coming up, maybe you can do it on parts of your life that you're able to forgive and let go of. Then you have to have this very last sentence within this document. And it goes like this. I release any and all contracts with the people, the situations, and the energies stated above. All right? So you'll get this, if you download the document along with this video, you'll be able to absolutely just verbatim write that out. I release any and all contracts with the people, the situations, and the energies that are stated above. All right? Next, how do we release this? Well, we take our paper and we rip it up, and then we burn it. And I want you to burn it, either in a sink or in a metal bowl, or if you have a fire pit, right? It's safe to burn things these days. And the best time to burn, a new moon or a full moon. And you may have a whole bunch of these, because you may want to do one for mom, one for dad, one for sibling, one for teacher, one for racism, one for sexism, one for the patriarchy. You may want to have a bunch of these. And then you rip them up. You may want to burn them all at once. You may also want to notice how they burn. And what I mean by that is, if there's billowing smoke that happens and the paper's having a hard time burning, that usually means there's a lot of emotions still to go around this situation, person, etc. The paper might burst into flames quickly, and that means you're done with it. Poof. It's long overdue. The paper may not be able to ignite, all right? So you may still have some attachment energy with the person or the situation. And you may have to light it again and again in order to keep the energy of burning the paper going. So here are the 4 steps. Cord cutting exercise. You may want to bring in Archangel Michael, a blue energy of masculine stature, because he's the energy that helps us cut people from the past easily and with love, helps us cut situations from the past easily with love. It's a blue masculine energy. You can call that in. You can burn some sage as you're writing or as you're burning this document. So I give this to you because this is a time when we're needing to absolutely let go and surrender and be in a receptive state so as to allow the new energies that are coming in to come into you cleanly. All right? And if you have any challenges, drop an email or in Messenger or in the Facebook group, and we'll communicate. And until we see each other, keep the faith.